All right, let's go, and we're gonna I'll try to get 2 kata in today. The first kata I want to do is called kasa no shita. A kasa is, and we don't have any, we've got 5,000 hats here, we don't have kasa. And kasa,
he just didn't bring it down.
we do? Okay, it's it's one of those basket hats. And the basket hat, you know, the original one was, you're going to use it, it's called a kasa, because it also means umbrella. It's the hat that kind of looks like an umbrella. And people would wear that, you know, if they needed to take the hat off and pick some grains up from the field, you could use it that way. Wandering monks had a version that they would cover their face and have little eye slits cut in it. And some of these guys would actually sew into the hat, they would sew metal strips. So if someone tried to cut them, they would, you know, maybe break your sword trying to cut through it like a helmet. But shita means underneath. So kasa no shita means underneath the helmet, or underneath the basket hat. Let me just a second arrange this mic. I think I need to tighten it a little bit. Okay. All right, so in kasa no shita, first thing we're going to do is make our kamae. And so I bring my hand here. I run this hand back to my grip width from the end. So you remember when we did ukan and we went to here because that's my grip? This is the same thing we're doing here. We're going to come here, go out one grip width away from the end. Now I'm going to step back, and as I step back I make a nice big circle and bring it to the back of my neck. And I point the stick right in the eyes of my enemy. And it should be such that your partner can only see a little round circle. Okay? Now, this is my starting posture. When the swordsman comes up, haso kamae, he's going to bring the sword over the top. I'm going to step back here and meet him. So I now have a honte kamae. All right? Now, the idea of coming around is that you don't want to knock that hat off. That's the feeling of it. However, don't be concerned if this changes from time to time. I was at a seminar one time, and Sensei told us that just do that and knock it off your head, get it out of the way. So, you know, maybe you see if there's some different ideas sometimes. But generally speaking, we're going to be here. We're going to go ich, ni, san. When the sword comes up to us, comes over the top, makes distance, shi. Okay? Now, the sword is, let me go this direction here. The sword is going to now have to pass around this stick. So if I've got the sword here, and I walk straight into it, I might have, you can leave it on my eyes, you don't have to move. I have a problem. So for me to cut him, I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to pass that. I'm going to go just as close as I can to it. So you have that attack coming, and it's a kasa, diagonal cut, coming to your left side. Okay. So from here, as that comes in, I'm going to do this. Do you see this hand? Roll that hand. Bam. Does this look familiar? Something we just did? Arms out in front of the shoulders, John. Yeah. This is a lot like do-barai. Now hands are do-barai, we did this way. This one's this way, but it's really a do-barai position. So I blocked the sword. I'm now going to run my hand down to the bottom, and I take my fist on the bottom of the jo and I stick it right in the obi, right in the belt of the swordsman. Now I also wanted to show you, I don't know if everybody was seeing what I did here, is I also did this at the top. I also rolled my thumb around. Okay, so now I'm in honte at the top of this. Well, this is a cool position. We'll play with this in a second. The swordsman now is going to try to cut me in the back of my neck. He can't get straight to it, so he's going to go in a circle around me. And so when I feel him go in that circle around me, I go 1, 2, 3, and I strike him here. So you have that weird circling motion of the jo. And then you put away. We're at the end of the kata. Okay, I'm going to ask Dale to help for a second because I want to let you, we talked about how that works, but I want you to see what happens. And then we're going to play with this a little bit because it's got some cool things going on. So I say, okay, here's my kamae. And notice the hand here. Yeah. So he comes in, and at this point as he comes right up to that last step, I get him here. He's going to step in and come in a little bit off the sword and try to cut at this angle, and I stop him here. Now, all I did was I just dropped the tip to his center, and I put my hand here. Now he's caught on that, and I've got this nice strong position. He is now he can't go forward, so he's going to take a step back and go to jodan. When he does, I follow him. You notice I'm a little bit up on my tiptoes. I try to get this vertical, but the main point is that it is straight down the center line between us. If I am here, he's going to kill me. If I'm here, he's going to kill me. If I'm here, notice that he can't really get to me. Anywhere he tries to cut me, he's got the wedge. You notice his arms are a big triangle. And that is a wedge that forces him away from me no matter where he tries to cut me. So I have to, very crucial that this is right down the center. So at this point he says, well, I'm just not going to be on the center. He's going to go over there. And I feel him turn, and I hit him right in the, you could hit him, sometimes you'll say temple. I like the temple. Sometimes you'll put this on the mon right there on the back. That's a good place to hit him too. The swordsman, traditionally when you're practicing this, it's a good idea for the swordsman to duck his head, because a lot of times that jo is going to go right where his center of his head was going to be. So please be safe on the sword side with this. So let's go again. And we say, here's my kamae. He's now haso kamae. He comes in, and we meet at this distance. He's going to attack. Right. Notice I switched this hand to here. He's going to step back, haso kamae. I switch the top hand and drop from suigetsu down to the obi. He's going to step around, and I'm going to pop him here. So now he steps back and squares up, surrenders sword. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that's a left side put away, and I have my line of targets that I run right down and come back. Okay, so let's do the stick side together, and we'll go by numbers, and then we'll do the sword side together. Okay? So first here, the kamae kata. 1, 2, 3. So now I have it pointed at my enemy. I'm going to be swinging around. You might be careful with the wall because you're going to be swinging around behind you. Let's get to here. Yeah. Okay. So beginning of the kata. Ichi. Ni. Okay, make sure that your hands are both gyaku-te here. Then san, your top hand rolls on the top of the jo, and you've dropped this to the center. And this really, you want to, even if you can make this vertical, that'd be great. In practice, it doesn't really happen, but you can come up on your toes. With Dale, there's a real height change, so his waist is about the height of my shoulder, so it doesn't quite get there. But now, each knee, come around and strike. Yeah. Okay. Then put away. Draw back. Come to the thigh. Turn the left hand over. Turn the right hand over. Come to the front, and do your put away down the center line. Okay. Okay. One more time. Each knee, san. Make sure your front knee is bent and your center is attacking. Okay? Every time that you're holding a weapon, you should be attacking your enemy with your body. All right? Now, stick comes around each. The attack comes, I'm going to let that tip drop to suigetsu, and I step in and block, knee. He's going to step back and go to jodan kamae. I roll that top hand, drop it into his obi, try to get as tall as I can, straight line between us. He moves laterally, so I move laterally, and I crack him on the temple. Okay? And then draw back, each knee, san, shi, and we're done there. Okay? All right, let's go back. Yeah, this one has that lot of circling motion, so you get a nice change of your facing. Let's grab swords, and we'll do the sword side. This is kind of a nice short kata, and we should be able to play with it pretty well. Do 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 do, do do do. Sword, do 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 do. Sword. So we got swords, swords, swords. Curbinator. Okay. So on this kata, if we have the sword, we're going to do this. We're going to come in here. We say, kasa no shita oi. We're waiting for him to come into kata. He gets that stick around under the hat. Haso kamae. This is a big forward pushing kamae all the time. Now, each knee, san, shi. He's met us here. I've got to get around that. I've got a nice diagonal on my feet, so if I just slide forward, hey, puts me off the line of the stick and I can cut diagonally to get to him. So, but I've been blocked. The stick's at my elbow and in my center. So I step back, my feet are together, and I have jodan kamae, and he's followed me back. I don't like this. I'm going to step with my left foot and then bring my right foot behind it and try to cut him here. And darned if he's hit me on the head. So everybody bend your head to the left. Yeah, don't get smacked. Okay, now square up and bring the sword down. As the put away happens, I now bring my back foot, my feet together so that I'm in surrender mode. And now I'm going to back out left, right, left. Okay, let's go again. It's a nice, short, sweet, but it's got some interesting points in it. All right. Hey, kasa no shita oi. Comes to kamae. I'm in attacking mode. Each knee, san. Matched weapons. Step in and cut on that diagonal. Come back. Not getting there. Left foot turn cut. And I get blocked again, so my head's offline. Step back and drop the sword. Now my feet aren't together yet. Does the put away. Now my feet are together. And now left, right, left, back. Okay? So let's pair up. 2, 4, 6, 7. We got 7 of us. So I'll jump in and see who we want to. Because the next kata is called Ichi-rei. Ichi-rei, Ichi is one, or a single. Rei is bow. And the idea, I think, is you'll see at the end, only one person has respect in this kata. So this kata normally starts from this position. Okay, if you have some knee problems, there's a couple of alternatives. One of them is to do this position. Okay, if you are female, this is considered to be the proper position to do the kata. To start, to start here. Okay, if you have really bad knee problems, you can't get down in that, then this is an acceptable way to start the kata. Okay. This is because you want to be able to do Jodo even if you have a problem with that. But like I said, the kata style this way. All right, so he's going to come in. He's got the sword at his waist, so he's going to come in, and he's before he starts to draw, I come up, honte strike, right down the center, and I crack him on that, and he's already lost.
I missed it.
You see how his hands are down? He can't get that sword out now. Okay, so yeah, up and this way, so that you have a little bit of room. So okay, again, sorry about that.
I guess backwards.
Hey, here, and then he's going to now drop underneath the jo and start to draw the sword.
Drop backwards.
Drop the hilt underneath here and step back. I'm immediately striking with gyaku-te. So I'm chasing him back. And what he's done is blocked it. If you notice, the sword has a ridge along the side. That's the thickest part. It's also a little bit soft. Soft is good because soft is not brittle. If you do this and do it with the edge, crack, you're going to probably get chips out of your very important edge. It doesn't cut well. I tend to think that also you'll have part of your sword will get stuck in the jo, which is probably not good. So he's going to roll it here. He has to make sure his supporting hand doesn't get cut at that. So we've done honte to block, the draw, gyaku-te. I'm really striking into his head, but he's blocked me here. Well, now he's going to take about a half step back and get both hands on the sword and cut diagonally to here. That's what we had before. So I'm going to do this. I drop into sugets. Okay, again now. Oh, look where we are here. Same kind of position. Well, he tried stepping diagonally last time. That didn't work very well. How else can he cut me on the back of my neck? What if he takes a half step back? Ooh, he got off of it and he's got range. So he knows right where the cutting part of his sword is, and he does that. And I do honte and strike right through the center. Guess what? He can't get to me. So at this point, he's going to step back out of the way, and he's going to come to haso kamae. Guess what I do? I start doing this put away. He's in haso kamae, though, which means he hasn't surrendered. So he takes a chop at my head and stops right pointing at my eyes. And I step back on that. And he's going to just leave it over on that angle. So I've knocked the sword here. He brings it back to this point. And at that point, I say, okay, let's try this again. And we do the put away. So let's come back down here. What I find really interesting about this is we've got two kata. They both go to the same place. They both go to here, where I'm shielding myself behind this. One of them has do-barai. The other one has a kiritsuke. Like, why is that? Well, take a look at this distance. In kasa no shita, bring sword out, we're at this distance. Look at all that room. When he comes in to attack, blot, I put it there. That's not where we are. In this kata, we're here, much closer distance. So now when he comes to cut, I'm here. So this is showing or teaching your bodies the appropriate distances and what you can do at those distances. It's also teaching you this feel at the end of this kata where we're in this position, jodan, we're in this position here. I'm thinking, well, if I feel him going laterally, I'm going to go laterally. If I feel him backing up, I just do honte-uchi right through him. And I want you to see this right here. When I do honte-uchi, I am waiting, there. That twist of my hips. If I do this and then strike, yeah, maybe not so good. I want to have power. So I go, yay! And I use that twist of my hips to drive that stick forward and power that honte-uchi. Maybe a little here. And if you notice here, he has stopped his arm at this point because I'm striking through his face. And good thing I caught it. His face doesn't like sticks. I don't know why. So anyway, this is called Ichi-rei. All right, let's do, as a group, we'll go through in sequence. Everybody's got Joe? Go. All right. So, starting with our kamae. The kamae is to bring the hands together here in front, bring this to the end, and then drop into sankyo, or the one knee position. All right, please be gentle with your knees. This is the fourth day, and we don't want to have anybody get any problems here. Now, as the sword approaches, he's starting to go for that draw. I'm going to lift up. I have honte grip over the head, and I strike honte, draw back, and this is a quick strike, so I just gyaku-te really quickly. Make sure your wrists are pointed at the target. Then he drops off the end of the stick and starts to attack, and I just bring it into kiritsuke. Make sure you have a good deep kiritsuke. Look at your front foot and your knee. Yeah, and your hip. Shouldn't be leaning. You should be pushing your hips in. Boom. Then he's going to step back. Same thing. You roll the back thumb over and drop your front hand down to the, there you go. So you're up here. You're waiting for him. You're holding back your hip turn. And yay! And I want you to feel that at this point, your left foot doesn't move. It turns, but it keeps position, and your body weight drops down. And you almost feel as if you're just, it's like that first movement of subawari, where you just feel like you're holding your position and dropping down. So at this point, the swordsman has retreated, haso kamae. He's waiting. You start your put away. He says, hey, I'm still in haso kamae. Takes a crack at you. You drop back and strike that sword. Now you do your put away again. And this time you've got distance and the sword's down, so you're okay. All right? Come back. Very good. Okay, one more time. Ichi-rei, hoi, hajime, hey, hey, honte gyaku-te, kiritsuke, trapping vertically here. Remember, you had to turn your thumb in back. There you go. And turn and strike honte. Start your tai-hazushi. Treachery, you block and strike. Remember that the sword's there, so you'll be striking through the sword. And then, again, left side put away. We're done. And we can both go home now. Yeah. Okay. So, let's every other person grab a sword. Well, let's everybody grab a sword. I begin with the taito. I've got the sword on my hip. I start walking forward, and all of a sudden, when I get to range, I start to reach for the sword, but that stick comes over and traps me. As my hand reaches the sword, I want to raise it up just a little bit so I can catch it here, not be trapped in. I drop it down and draw, but the stick is coming, so I have to catch. And I catch here. Palm of my hand is behind the blade. I step back, feet together, and step forward with my right hand to cut. And I've been blocked again. I step back, feet together, jodan. And I'm about to step back on my left foot. Yay! But I stop my cut with my forearm about eye level. Maybe a little brow level above my eyes, because I want to stop that stick from coming in. Step straight back to haso kamae. Guy is starting to do his put away. Sucker! Hey! Bam! You get knocked to the side. And I say, okay, real slowly, let's just bring that sword tip back to this position. And he's doing the put away again, and I go, okay. And then left, right, left, back. Okay? Let's go together again. Sword starts on the hip. Left knee, san. It's blocked. Draw the sword and block that strike, the gyaku-te. Then half step back, feet together, right foot cut, it's blocked. Back to jodan. Oh, there's a way I can get to him. I start to step back and cut. Oh, I gotta stop, protect myself here. Back to haso kamae. He's doing the put away. Hey! Boom! Getting knocked to the side. Bring the sword back together with both hands on it. And put away. And retreat. Okay? Hadn't been a good day for the swordsman. So, alright. It's every other person with the sword. Hey, mokuso. So yame, right? Shomen ni, right? Yotegai ni, sumimasen, gokuro sama deshita. Thank you all for your hard work. Right. All right, thank you very much, and I appreciate your hard work, and you're sticking through this on a tough week of training.
Sticking through.
Sticking through. See what you did. All right, thank you.